So in this session let us understand what is public administration and how public administration is suitable, optional. Okay, so in a simple sense it is orientation about public administration. Okay, right. First of all, what is public administration? In what sense we need to understand the term public administration? Okay, public administration means what? Basically, before we understand what is public administration, let us understand the purpose of the state. Okay, state means what? It is a political entity. Okay, state is nothing but it is a independent political system. The state has, if you try to look at the state has two things. One, how the state is formed and what are the objectives of the state. What are the objectives of the state? Okay. The political science generally talks about how the state is formed and what are the objectives of the state. What are the objectives of the state? So in other words, political science is more about study of statecraft. Study of statecraft. How the state is organized and what are the objectives of the state. So in other words, political science is more interested regarding the theories of the constitution. Regarding the theories of the constitution. What must be the value system the state must be promoting. Okay, how the state is formed and what are the purposes the state has been established. But on the other hand, public administration tries to talk about how the state achieves the goals. How the state achieves the goals. Ardhamavutunda? Political science is about how the state is formed, what must be the objectives of the state. On the other hand, public administration is about translation of the goals of the state into, what is it? Reality. Translation of the state objectives into reality. That is why the public administration is more about practical aspects. Practical aspects. That is why public administration is more about practice. Public administration is more about practice. Is it clear? So, if you try to define what is public administration is more about management of affairs of the government. Management of the affairs of the government. How the governmental affairs are managed, that is studied through public administration. Okay. Actually, various scholars have defined public administration in different manner. For example, there is a scholar called as Dwight Waldo. Waldo says public administration is about application of arts and science of management in the affairs of the state. In the affairs of state. Dwight Waldo says public administration is nothing but application of arts and science of management in the affairs of the state. So public administration is considered to be, what is that? Art. And also it is considered to be science. Arts and science. What is arts? Art is nothing but, what is art? Art is something which is skill. Art is nothing but skill. How effectively are you able to implement a particular policy? How effectively are you managing the people? That is what called as art. Science means, science is always about validation, rationality, that is nothing but reason based thinking, that is what called as science. So when you are managing, when you are applying arts and science of management in the affairs of state, why you are implementing, why are you applying the arts and science of management? For the translation of goals into reality. Did you understand? What is the goal of the Indian Constitution? Establishment of welfare state. How we establish welfare state? By implementing various policies to achieve the goals. Did you understand? That's why according to Woodrow Wilson, he is considered to be father of public administration. According to his opinion, public administration is nothing but systematic implementation of law. When you are implementing the public law, that itself is called as, what is it? Public administration. I think you got to know what is public administration. Public administration is nothing but management of the affairs of the government. Whatever the government is doing, if you are managing it, that is what called as public administration. Is it clear? So in other words, public administration can be understood as both policy making and also policy implementation. Policy making and policy implementation. So how policies are made, how policies are implemented. So these two aspects will be studied as a part of public administration. Okay. So we can understand public administration in another perspective also. Public administration is nothing but administration of public, administration by the public. Okay, public administration of public and administration by the public. Administration of public means regulating the public. Okay, for the public, by the public and of the public. Administration of public, administration by the public, administration for the public. You understand? Administration of the public means, it means you are ensuring, what is it? Regulation. How you are regulating the people, how the business must be, how it must be controlled or regulated. That is nothing but regulation. Okay, how the people should lead their life. Okay, what is their profession, what is their habitation. Okay, and how the people should enjoy their rights. That is all regulation. Okay, administration for the public. It means you try to ensure, what is it? Welfare of the people. Administration for the public. So it means state will be giving certain basic necessities to the people. That is nothing but administration for the public. Administration by the public. It means who will be there in the civil services? Who will be there? People themselves. Because people are recruited into the civil services by the system of merit. Did you understand? That's how we can understand the public administration of the public, for the public, by the public. Right? You got what is the essence of public administration? Yes. Okay. So this is what essence of public administration. Then why public administration is suitable option? Why it is more important? If you try to look at the syllabus of public administration is very much compact, very small, very short syllabus you can see. Moreover, public administration has well defined material. So you don't require to go through multiple sources, very limited number of resources are sufficient. In the recent years, the questions are being asked in a direct manner, no complexity in the questions also. Moreover, it is having overlapping with general studies. For example, if you try to look at general studies paper 2, GS paper 2 is there, in which more than 70% syllabus is common with public administration. Public administration paper 2, we will just look into the syllabus of the public administration paper 2. You will come across lot of common syllabus pointers with the general studies paper 2. So your preparation will become very easy. Moreover, in the general studies paper 3, almost all 40% syllabus is covered under the public administration. For example, internal security, okay, economic policies, regulatory policies, fiscal policy, monetary policy, these are covered under public administration paper itself, 40% syllabus commonality. And you can also look at the general studies paper 4, in which more than 40 to 50% syllabus is common with the public administration. Did you understand? So actually, if you try to look at general studies syllabus, general studies marks, entire marks would be how many? 1000 marks, 250 into 4, 1000 marks. Essay has how many marks? 250 marks, okay, and optional has 500 marks, okay. If you focus on this 500 marks, what is advantage? The syllabus coverage will be 40 to 50% of the GS paper 4 and 70% of GS paper 2 and 40% of the GS paper 3. Apart from that, the logic you generally come across in the public administration will be very much helpful in writing better general essays, because you will be gathering good vocabulary, lot of current affairs, lot of current issues in the public administration that will be helpful to you to cover better marks in the essay paper also. So it means public administration itself is what kind of subject? Multi-disciplinary subject. It contains elements of psychology, contains elements of society, contains elements of economy, polity. So all these management, definitely this kind of multidisciplinary knowledge will be fetching you good marks in the essay as well as even in the ethics also, because in the ethics especially there will be case studies. How do you understand the case studies? Generally case studies all about human organizations. All the human organizations are studied in the public administration paper 1. You will be able to identify what are the issues concerning the work culture, work ethics, okay, how to address these problems. In the managerial perspective, you will be able to understand various case studies also. So that will be easing your task in the general studies paper 4. Is it clear? That is why public administration is the most suitable option for UPSC aspirants, because with the single subject you will be able to cover different areas in the general studies. Apart from that, apart from these points, you can also see in the recent times the public administration is becoming so direct. Direct in the sense, previously a lot of indirect questions used to be asked, but now direct questions are being asked. So there is no that much of complexity that you can see in the question papers of 2013, 14, 15. And presently the marks in the public administration is also increasing. Is it clear? So that is why public administration is suitable option. Generally, tell me what are the points you generally consider while choosing the optional? మీరు ఏ పాయింట్స్ ఎక్కువగా చూస్తారు ఆప్షన్ చూజ్ చేసుకోవాలంటే మీరు ఏ మెథడ్ ఫాలో అవుతారు చెప్పండి. Yes, first and foremost important thing is that must be having overlap with the GS, but not just having overlap with GS. The most important point you need to understand is your interest. You must have the natural interest. Did you understand? For example, do you like protein food? Yes or no? Yes, protein is very good for body, but pork has lot of protein. Would everybody consume? Similarly, certain people say this subject is highly scoring, hence you need to take this optional. Tell me whether that particular solution is applicable to every person. No. Why? Because you need to have interest. So when you have interest, the second point you need to look at is overlap with the GS. And third one is, next syllabus should be compact or elaborative. Compact. Okay. And fourth important point is material, what is it? Availability. Material availability. And fifth point is proper, what is that? Mentorship. Okay. I would say I will satisfy all these 5 requirements. Why? Because I will be giving a proper material. The material will be in such a way that it will be directly addressing the examination demand. You do not require to prepare anything additionally. This is my promise. You just attend the classes, understand the concepts. Moreover, public administration is a subject which is logic oriented. You do not require to mug up the facts in the public administration. You just understand the concept. Okay. And those concepts can be helpful in writing very good answers. You do not require to cram your mind with all unnecessary stuff. Because we will be taking the logic, okay, right from the beginning to the ending. We will be applying the same logic. That logic will be helpful to understand the subject. That's enough. Is it clear? And moreover, mentorship. You understand, I will be integrating the mains questions, the previous year's mains questions with the classroom discussion. Why? Because UPSC is habituated to ask the questions in the repetitious manner. For example, in the recent question paper, there was a question, politics and administration dichotomy is, the debate between politics and administration dichotomy is still alive. That the question was asked. This question was previously asked in another form. So forms are changing, but the main question is not changing. So when we integrate the previous year's questions, it will be very simple to anticipate the future questions of UPSC. Is it clear? And moreover, the significant overlap is seen already. You have more interlinking with the general studies. So that's why public administration is the most suitable optional. Public administration is the most suitable optional. Is it clear? Right. And moreover, what is the pattern of questions? How the questions are asked? What is a pattern of questions? Generally, paper 1 and paper 2, both are carrying how many marks? 250 marks each. Okay. And in both paper and paper 2, commonly in both paper 1 and paper 2, how many questions are asked? 8 questions are asked. Asked in 2 sections, section 1 and section 2. Okay. In the section 1, first question in the section 1, first question in section 2 both are compulsory questions. Both are compulsory questions. And it consists of 5 questions, A, B, C, D and E. So each carries how many marks? 10 marks. So these 2 questions are compulsory. Okay. Remaining how many questions are there? Question number 2, 3, 4 and 5. 2, 3, 4 and 5. Out of these questions, you can just answer how many? 3 questions. How many questions you need to answer? Just 3 questions. Either 3 questions from here or 3 questions from here. But from every section you need to answer at least 2 questions. At least 2 questions. How many questions you need to answer? 5 out of 8 questions. 5 out of 8 questions. Okay. So if you these 5 questions will be carrying how many marks? 250 marks. Did you understand? This is what the question paper pattern. Tell me what is the question paper pattern? First question is compulsory in both sections, and combinedly from both sections how many questions you need to answer? 3 questions. 3 questions plus 2 questions. How many? 5 questions. This is what the question paper pattern. Okay. Right. And every question will be having subsections also. Every question will be having subsections also. This is what the paper pattern. Did you understand? Okay. So then coming to the syllabus, this is what the syllabus. Okay. Is it visible? Okay, this is paper 1. Okay, paper 1 has this is the first chapter, introduction, meaning, scope and significance of public administration. What is public administration? What are studied in the public administration? What are studied in the public administration? What is the scope? Okay, scope means what are the areas concerning the public administration. Some scholars have studied public administration as a policy making and policy implementation, politics administration dichotomy. Some scholars have studied in the integrated approach, policy making and policy implementation are the same. Okay, some scholars have studied public administration in the form of structures, procedures and external interface. Okay, in that context they have studied public administration. We will be studying different dimensions here. And what is the significance of public administration? And Woodrow Wilson is the father of public administration. And what is the public administration in his opinion? Because public administration got a systematic approach due to the contributions of Woodrow Wilson. Okay, basically you are able to see the policy making and policy implementation under the present governments, at union government or state government. Okay, we generally consider legislature is the agency which is supposed to make the policies, and executive is the agency which is supposed to implement the policies. Yes or no? But tell me in practical sense what is happening? Who is making policy? Who is implementing policy? Executive is part of policy making and policy implementation. Yes, today we have studied public wills are made by the government, that is cabinet makes the draft laws and which are legislated by the legislature. And even under the concept of delegated legislation, who is making the rules and regulations? Executive itself. So naturally you are able to see the merger of policy making and policy implementation. Okay, whether is it right to merge the policy making and policy implementation? Is it better to separate the policy making and policy implementation? Did you understand? Can we merge the policy making and policy implementation, or let us separate the policy making and policy implementation? You can't give any single opinion whether in favor of merging the policy making and policy implementation and separating the policy making and policy implementation. Why? Because public policy became very complex phenomenon nowadays. The politicians do not have enough knowledge to offer technical solutions for the problems we are facing in the society. That's why what is important, even bureaucratic role is important in the policy making process. Did you understand? How many MLAs you have seen daily daily meeting the people? Are they meeting the people in a daily basis? No. Why? You are able to see MLAs and MPs are having their own personal interest. They are more interested to develop their own business rather than promoting the public interest. In this context, who will be in the regular touch with the people? Bureaucracy. Naturally, bureaucracy will be providing essential input for the public policy. Yes, definitely yes. They are able to act as a channel between the people and government. In this context, whether the bureaucracy is a key player in the policy making? Yes, of course. But there are challenges also. If bureaucracy is involving in the policy making, in other words, indirectly they are in the process of politics. They are in the process of politics. What is politics? Prioritizing the public interest. When there are two competing interests, what is important? The process of determining what is important itself is politics. ఇప్పుడు హైడ్రా ఉంది, మూసీ దగ్గర ఉన్న ఎంక్రోచ్మెంట్స్ తీసేద్దామా ఉంచుదామా? బీఆర్ఎస్ ఈజ్ సేయింగ్ let us retain the structures. Congress is saying let us remove the structures. అంటే ఇక్కడ ఏం జరుగుతుంది? You are trying to assign value to the different priorities and you are giving your own favorable arguments in favor of one or these two alternatives. That is what called as politics. So policy making is deeply connected with politics. If bureaucracy is involved in the policy making, it is indirectly involving in the politics. So that's why you can't deny these two facts. Yes, bureaucracy's role is important, sometimes bureaucracy's role is not important. So such kind of debates we will be having in the process of politics and administration dichotomy. Did you understand? We will also study how the public administration has evolved, what is the present status, because public administration is not an independent discipline, it depends upon political science, management, okay. So how it has evolved to the present status, why it must be studied as a single discipline, so we will be studying that. And we also study what is the impact of liberalization, privatization and globalization over the public administration. Did you understand? How the LPG has impacted. Tell me whether LPG has impacted? Definitely yes. Why? Because when we liberalize the economy, Indian economy is supposed to be globally competitive. Globally competitive. If it requires to be globally competitive, administration also to require to be globally competitive. Administration requires to be efficient, effective and economic. Okay. How to make administration efficient, effective and economic? By means of various approaches. By means of various approaches. For example, what is that? New public management. New public management. అర్థమవుతుందా? మీరు ఎప్పుడైనా పబ్లిక్ సెక్టర్ ఎప్పుడైనా బ్యాంక్కి వెళ్ళారా? ఎస్బీఐకి వెళ్ళారా? స్టేట్ బ్యాంక్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా. ఎలా ఉంటుంది వాళ్ళ రెస్పాన్స్? నువ్వు వస్తే ఏంది రాకపోతుంది, నువ్వు నెక్స్ట్ డే నుంచి రాకపోయినా పర్లేదు అన్నట్టు ఉంటుంది వాళ్ళ బిహేవియర్. ఎందుకు? దే డోంట్ వాల్యూ ద కస్టమర్స్. దే డోంట్ వాల్యూ ద కస్టమర్స్. అంటే when I am a public organization, I least bother about the citizen. But in the new public management, every public agency must treat the citizen as a customer. How a private organization gives value for the interest of the customer or consumer, in the same manner who has to give, the public sector also has to value the customers. That's why we are able to see citizen charters. Have you ever heard? Citizen charters. Citizen charter means time bound delivery of services with the requisite standards and with also with cost affordability. So that kind of philosophy we are able to embrace by means of new public management. Did you understand? So then definitely when the public administration has to be functional, different perspectives we will be studying. One is structural perspective. When you come to this organization, what you have seen? The structure of organization. What is it? Structure of organization. You have seen CEOs are at the top and below him there are subordinates. You are able to see a definite structure in the organization. Yes or no? Yes. But every organization will be having its own structure. You go into every organization. Not only this Excel Civil Service Academy, you go to any human collective, any human organization, you will be able to see structure. But just because having structure itself, an organization becomes successful? No. Did you understand? Structure is very much important. Otherwise, there will be no division of work. There will be no coordination. Okay. There will be no any kind of an organized effort to implement the policy. That's why structure is very, very important. Structure is very, very important, without which you can't imagine any organization. Okay. So the importance of structure can be seen in the form of, what is it? Scientific management, in the form of Weber's bureaucracy model. You can also see in the form of other thinkers. For example, you can see Urvik and Gallik. Okay, different theories you will be studying in this process. But at the same time, every public organization will be having human beings. But tell me whether human beings are mechanical or emotional. Tell me. Emotional. You can't expect human beings are like acting like a robot. Every human being has their own emotions. Okay. Any organization which will be able to integrate the rules and regulations along with the human emotions, that organization will become successful. Why Tata is becoming successful? During the time of COVID, what happened? All the steel production and steel sale has been plummeted. Okay, but despite that fact, the employees were given the full salary and they did not remove the employees. So what you are able to address? Not only structural aspects of the organization but also emotional aspects. Did you understand? So that will be that process, that particular behavioral aspects will be studying in the neoclassical and behavioral theories. Neoclassical and behavioral theories. Are you able to understand? So in order to make an organization effective or productive, we not only appreciate the structural aspects of organization, but also we need to appreciate the behavioral aspects of organization. Did you understand? So those things will be studying in the administrative thought and administrative behavior. Are you able to understand? For example, there are many sweepers, housekeeping staff is there in this particular institution. Okay, regularly they will be doing their task. Okay, but one day you just interrupt their work and you inquire about, being a manager, not a student, being a manager, you inquire about their personal problems and personal issues. The very next day onwards, the efficiency on part of the housekeeping staff will be increasing, despite you did not increase the salary, despite you did not give any materialistic benefit. Why? Because they feel that somebody is there to appreciate my emotions. Did you understand? So we will be studying what are the inputs for the better administrative effectiveness. What is the role of structure? What is the role of behavior? What is the role of morale and motivation? Morale and motivation. Morale means what? Commitment towards the work. Motivation means what? The inducement provided by the organization to improve the effectiveness of the organization. Those will be studied in the process of administrative thought and administrative behavior. You must understand, the beauty of the public administration is, you don't study the paper 1 and paper 2 in the isolation. You will try to integrate paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 is about theory, paper 2 is about Indian administration. You will try to apply paper 1 concepts in the paper 2 and paper 2 examples in the paper 1. Are you able to understand? For example, let us understand Panchayat Raj institutions. Panchayat Raj institutions. Why they are not effective? Why they are not effective? Because there are three problems, 3F: functions, funds and functionaries. Functions, funds and functionaries. These 3F are lacking with respect to local bodies. Apart from that, the very structure of the local bodies is imperfect. Very structure of local bodies is imperfect. For example, you take Panchayat secretary. Do you know Panchayat secretary? He is secretary to the local body, Panchayat. Okay, he has two bosses. One is Sarpanch and another one is MPDO. Yes or no? Public administration says there must be the administrative thought, especially the classical theory says about the structure of the organization, in which you must strictly observing the unity of command. Strictly observing the unity of command. Unity of command means every person must be having only one boss. So simply, how to make local bodies to be effective? You simply write this point. Did you understand? Are you able to understand? Let us think about leadership. Suppose in a police station, there is an young recruitee, SI is there. He is fresh recruiting. There is a senior head constable. There is a senior head constable. According to the structural aspects of the organization, the leader would be SI, sub inspector. But according to behavioral aspect, like for example MP Follett, Mary Parker Follett says, she promotes the idea of situational leadership. What is that? Situational leadership. Situational leadership means whenever a situation demands, not the position matters, but what is that important? The ability is important. That is what called as situational leadership. So because administration is so dynamic process, we can't expect everything according to the formality. What we need to appreciate? Informality needs to be appreciated. What is informality? Anything which is not given by rules of the organization, that is what called as informality. Are you able to understand? Suppose teacher has to teach here, that is what formality. But I inquire about your personal problems, that is what called as informality. So for the better organizational productivity, whether formality is important or informality important? Both are important. Both are important. So we will observe, we will apply these principles in the understanding of the Indian administration. Understanding of the Indian administration. Are you able to understand? Okay. So this is what administrative thought and administrative behavior. And in the next chapter, we will be studying how the organizations would function. Organization means what? Organization is nothing but human collective. Okay. It is nothing but Organization is group of people having the commonality of purpose. For example, whether Excel Civil Service Academy is organization or not. Yes, organization. What does it contain? It contains men and material. Men and material. And we are using men and material for a single purpose. What is that purpose? Realization of the goals of the Excel Civil Service Academy. Are you able to understand? That is what called as organization. How this organization should function? How this organization should function? There are various theories. For example, systems theory, contingency theory. Systems theory and contingency theory. What these theories talk about is any organization must be able to respond to external stimulus. External stimulus. Are you able to understand? For example, no organization can be insulated from the external factors. For example, you are running automobile business. You are running automobile company. Whether this automobile company is influenced by only internal process or even external process also. External process also. For example, market. What is the demand in the market? The market has the demand for electric vehicles. Your automobile company has to manufacture electric vehicles. People want, more stability and more predictability of the EVs. You need to make the vehicles with efficient batteries so that they are able to store the energy sufficient enough to take the vehicle into longer distances. So which theory are you able to apply here? What is that? Contingency theory. So whenever the external factors change, your organizational strategies, goals and internal structures will also be changing. Okay, we will be studying the organization. Similarly, we will be applying the same processes, same aspects with respect to public administration also. For example, central government is implementing Mission Karma Yogi. Mission Karma Yogi. What is Mission Karma Yogi? Taking the rule based training approaches to role based training. Ardhamavutunda? Rule based training to role based training. Rule based training means according to the rules, every civil servant has to undergo training in a periodical manner. For example, IAS officer, after you got recruited, after 10 years of your service, you have to go for training. That is what called as rule based training. Ante rules prakaram ఖచ్చితంగా ట్రైనింగ్ కి వెళ్ళాలి అంతే. అంటే ట్రైనింగ్ అంటే ఎలా అయిపోయింది? ట్రైనింగ్ అనేది ఎట్లా అయిపోయింది అంటే ఒక రిచువల్ లాగా మారిపోయింది. ఎలా మారిపోయింది? రిచువల్. అర్థమవుతుందా? ఇప్పుడు పుట్టిన తర్వాత 21st డేకి ఖచ్చితంగా ఒక ఫంక్షన్ చేస్తారు. అదొక రిచువల్. ఇవన్నీ ఒక రిచువల్ అంటే ఒక మొక్కుబడిలాగా మారిపోయింది. అలా కాకుండా నువ్వేం చేస్తున్నావు? రూల్ బేస్డ్ ట్రైనింగ్ ఎలా మారుస్తున్నావు? రోల్ బేస్డ్ ట్రైనింగ్గా మారుస్తున్నావు. ఎందుకు మార్చాలి? ఇప్పుడు మీరు హైదరాబాద్ కమిషనర్గా అయ్యారు. ఏది? జిహెచ్ఎంసీ కమిషనర్గా. వాట్ ఆర్ ద ఛాలెంజెస్ యువర్ కార్పొరేషన్ ఫేసెస్? చెప్పండి. మీకు తెలిసిన ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఏం చెప్పండి? సీవరేజ్ ప్రాబ్లం, గార్బేజ్, ఓకే, ఇంకేంటి? ట్రాఫిక్ ఇష్యూస్, ఓకే, అలాగే ఫ్లడింగ్. అర్థమవుతుందా? మరి మీరు ఒకటి ఆల్ ఆఫ్ సడన్ యూ బికేమ్ మున్సిపల్ కమిషనర్ టు ఇండోర్ మున్సిపాలిటీ. వాట్ ఈస్ దట్? ఇండోర్ మున్సిపాలిటీ. The challenges of indoor municipality is different. Hyderabad municipal corporation is different. అర్థమవుతుందా? అంటే when your roles are changing, the training requirements must also be changing. అర్థమవుతుందా? ఇప్పుడు చెన్నైకి మీరు కమిషనర్గా వెళ్ళారనుకోండి, చెన్నైలో ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటి? ఫ్లడింగ్. అంటే యువర్ ట్రైనింగ్ మస్ట్ బీ ఇన్ ద డైరెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ గివింగ్ యూ నెసెసరీ స్కిల్స్ టు ఓవర్కమ్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్లడింగ్. అంటే అర్థమవుతుందా? అంటే ట్రైనింగ్ ఎలా మారుస్తున్నావు? ఆర్ వీ చేంజింగ్ ద ట్రైనింగ్ ద డైనమిక్ మేనర్ ఆర్ స్టాటిక్ మేనర్? డైనమిక్ మేనర్. ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ ఇన్ఫ్యూజింగ్ డైనమిజం ఇన్ టు ద ట్రైనింగ్, అంటే మన సొసైటీలో అవసరాలకు అనుగుణంగా ఏం చేస్తున్నావు? యు ఆర్ చేంజింగ్ ద స్ట్రాటజీస్ ఆఫ్ ట్రైనింగ్. దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ కాల్డ్ as రోల్ బేస్డ్ ట్రైనింగ్, బట్ నాట్ రూల్ బేస్డ్ ట్రైనింగ్. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో వీఆర్ అప్లయింగ్ వాట్ థియరీ? కంటింజెన్సీ థియరీ. ఓకే. స్ట్రక్చర్ అండ్ ఫార్మ్స్, మినిస్ట్రీస్, డిపార్ట్మెంట్, కార్పొరేషన్స్, కంపెనీస్. మీకు తెలుసా ఎల్పిజికి ముందట కంపెనీస్ ఎక్కువగా లేవు. గవర్నమెంట్ కంపెనీస్ వర్ నాట్ దేర్. ఆఫ్టర్ ఎల్పిజి వాట్ వీఆర్ ఎస్టాబ్లిషింగ్? కంపెనీస్ వీఆర్ ఎస్టాబ్లిషింగ్. అంటే కంపెనీస్ అంటే ఏంటి? దోస్ ఆర్ ద ఏజెన్సీస్ సిమిలర్ టు దట్ ఆఫ్ ది ప్రైవేట్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్స్. How the Tata is functioning, how Mahindra is functioning, similarly the government agency is also functioning. That is what called as, what is it? Company. అర్థమవుతుందా? అంటే which principles are we applying? Contingency theory. Because when the needs changes, definitely organizational structures, composition and the role must be changing. So we will be seeing different types of organizations. boards, commissions, corporations, departments, ad hoc and advisory bodies, headquarter and field relationship. Okay, how headquarter and field level organizations are coordinating each other, how orders are received, how the policies are implemented, regulatory authorities. Because when we opened up economy, definitely what is important? Regulation is important. When private sector role increases, the government has to become efficient regulator to protect the public interest. అర్థమవుతుందా? ఇప్పుడు ఏవియేషన్లో గవర్నమెంట్ ఉందా? Whether aviation industry has a government stakeholdership? No. But still government is required to protect the interest of the customers, people. Okay, so that is possible through regulatory authorities, RBI, TRAI లాంటివి, public private partnerships, because we are seeing the enhanced role of the private sector in the provision of goods and services, how we are able to see the relationship between the public and private. ఇప్పుడు మీరు చూడండి హైవేస్, నేషనల్ హైవేస్ అన్ని దేని ద్వారా వచ్చినాయి? What is that? Public private partnerships. Hyderabad metro, public private partnership. Outer ring road, public private partnership. So how private sector is collaborating with the government and what are the issues connected, and we will be understanding this relationship in the context of what is it? Organizations. Okay, and accountability and control, because accountability methods are changing. Previously parliamentary form of democracy ensures government to be answerable to legislature, yes or no? But in the context of the LPG, the government is made answerable not just to legislature but also to the people. So in this context we will be looking at various dimensions of accountability. Okay, for example, citizen and administration, role of media, interest groups, voluntary organizations, civil society, citizen charters, right to information, social audit. These are the tools to enhance the accountability of the government to the people. అర్థమవుతుందా? Are you able to understand? ఇప్పుడు members of parliament could demand the information from the government under which article? Article 105 of the constitution. Okay, and citizen can demand the information through right to information act. MPs have to give the notice 15 days prior before the answer is given by the government, and common man has to give will get the information within how many days? 30 days. అంటే చూడండి, you are able to equate public representative and common man. నువ్వు ఎంపీ అయితే నీకు 15 రోజుల్లో వస్తాయి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్, నేను ఒక కామన్ మ్యాన్ కాబట్టి నాకు ఎన్ని రోజులు వస్తుంది? 30 రోజులు వస్తుంది. అంటే ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ది డే యూ విల్ గెట్ ద ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్, I will also get the information. It means you are transforming the governance from representative system to participatory system. Okay, bureaucracy would promote upward accountability, but because of the new systems of accountability and control, people are able to make the government accountable by means of right to information act, citizen charters, and what else? Social audit. Are you able to understand? Okay, next, administrative law. What is it? Administrative law. So we will study what are administrative tribunals, okay, what is delegated legislation, and what is the view of DICE on administrative law, and what is the scope and significance. We have discussed, right? Do you remember? But we will just elaborately define what is the French system of administration. They follow droit administratif. So it means there will be two types of systems, judicial systems. One is separately for civil servant, one is another for common man. If any dispute involve the civil servant with common man, definitely such systems, such issues will be routed through a separate system of tribunals. But in the case of UK, everybody is treated equal. So DICE talks about rule of law. DICE talks about rule of law. But French system talks about privileges for administrators. So we will be studying every dimension, why such systems are important. For example, you take CAT. Have you seen the newspaper? IAS officer approves the CAT. Some IAS officers are saying we don't want to go to Andhra Pradesh, we want Telangana cadre itself. Okay, who has taken the matter into cognizance? CAT, Central Administrative Tribunal. That system has been inspired from which system? French system. And how we are implementing both judiciary, that is rule of law, as well as separate tribunals for the administrators. So all these things will be studied in the administrative law. Okay, and it is all about general studies information only. It does not involve much complexity. Got my point? So whatever we study in the general studies, that is covered in the topic. And moreover, comparative public administration. Okay, generally why Indians are preferring go to America? Recently, according to the recent figures, more than 1 lakh people have migrated to America and other countries. They lost the Indian citizenship and they have taken the citizenship of America and other Western countries. Why? What is the reason? ఎందుకు చెప్పండి? సింపుల్ పాయింట్ చెప్తే చూడండి, హ్యావ్ యూ seen the difference of coke, quality of coke between America and India? Toothpaste, water, food standards. You just visit KFC in America, you visit KFC in Hyderabad. Can you find the qualitative difference? Yes. So everyone will try to migrate another country because of the better life. Okay, so in the comparative public administration, we will be studying the different administrations in different dimensions, historical dimensions and sociological dimensions. Historical and sociological dimensions. Did you understand? I would like to ask you, why are you opting for civil services preparation? Why do you want to become IAS officers? Why? What is the reason? Power, prestige. Power and prestige. Why you are so much fanciful about power and prestige? Why? Because your mindset is influenced by colonial factors. What is that? Historical factors. For 200 years, administrators became masters over the people. So you like that kind of mastery culture? Yes or no? And moreover, have you seen bureaucratic action sometimes highly biased? Have you seen this trait? Bureaucrat is nothing but one of the person who got recruited into the system from the same society. You identify any individual in the society, he will be carrying multiple identities. First, what is your gender? There will be gender bias. What is your caste? There will be a caste bias. What is your religion? There is a bias of religion. There is a bias of region. There is a bias of state. So it means administrative system will not be functioning in isolation. It will be functioning in an ecosystem. అర్థమవుతుందా? అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ దేనిలో పనిచేస్తుంది? ఒక ఎకోసిస్టంలో పనిచేస్తుంది. నేను అందుకే అడుగుతున్నా, వేర్ యూ కెన్ ఫైండ్ బెటర్ ఫంక్షనింగ్ ఆఫ్ పోలీస్ ఇన్ హైదరాబాద్ ఆర్ పాట్నా? హైదరాబాద్. ఎందుకు? The Hyderabad police is highly advanced technically, educationally, and even the people in Hyderabad are highly educated. They can hold the bureaucracy accountable. But in Patna, you are not able to see same level of awareness, same level of civic sense, same level of understanding. That's why administrative system changes from place to place, time to time. All these dimensions of administration will be studied in which chapter? Comparative public administration. మీకు అర్థమవుతుందా? We will be studying what is formalism, what is realism. Formalism versus realism. Formalism ఏంటి? బ్యూరోక్రసీ ఏం చెప్తుంది? It says that nobody shall be taking bribe. Okay, nobody shall be violating law అని చెప్తారు. కానీ వాస్తవానికి బ్యూరోక్రసీ ఏం చేస్తుంది? It will be indulging in the same bribing and violation of law. Am I right or wrong? Formalism అంటే ఏంటి? Whatever you preach, you don't follow. Realism అంటే ఏంటి? Whatever you preach, you follow. బట్ ఇక్కడ ఫార్మలిజం ఉందా, రియలిజం ఉందా? ఇండియాలో ఫార్మలిజం, అమెరికాలో రియలిజం ఉంది. అర్థమవుతుందా? ఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్? మీరు పల్లెటూరులో ఇప్పటికీ కూడా చూడండి, ఏదైనా డిసీజ్ వస్తే హాస్పిటల్ తీసుకెళ్తారు, అటువైపు మరొకవైపు బ్లాక్ మ్యాజిక్ చేసిన దగ్గరికి కూడా తీసుకెళ్తారు. హ్యావ్ యూ సీన్ దిస్? అంటే మన ఇండియా ఎలా ఉంది? అటు మోడర్న్ సొసైటీ కాదు, అటు మీడివల్ సొసైటీ కాదు, రెండింటి మధ్యన ఉంది. అంటే మనం ట్రాన్సిషనల్ సొసైటీ అంటాం. ఏమంటారు? ట్రాన్సిషనల్ సొసైటీ. ఒక ప్రిజం నుంచి లైట్ పంపించారని అనుకోండి, ఒక మోనోక్రోనిక్ లైట్ పంపిస్తే దట్ లైట్ విల్ బి డివైడ్ ఇంటూ మల్టిపుల్ కలర్స్. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? ఓకే, మీరు ఇప్పుడు ప్రిజం ఇలా ఉందనుకోండి, సపోజ్ దెర్ ఈస్ అ ప్రిజం, యూ పాస్ ద లైట్ త్రూ ద ప్రిజం, విత్ ఇన్ ద ప్రిజం దెర్ విల్ బి డిఫ్రాక్షన్ ఆఫ్ లైట్. దట్ డిఫ్రాక్టెడ్ లైట్ క్లియర్లీ కమ్స్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ది ప్రిజం. ఓకే, కానీ ఆ ప్రిజంలో మాత్రం రెండు ఉంటాయి. ఒకటి వైట్ లైట్ ఉంటుంది, అలాగే డైఫ్రాక్టెడ్ లైట్ ఉంటుంది. అంటే మన ఇండియాలో కూడా వైట్ లైట్ అంటే ఏంటి, మిడివల్ సొసైటీ, డైఫ్రాక్టెడ్ లైట్ అంటే ఏంటి, మోడర్న్ సొసైటీ. అంటే వీఆర్ ఇన్ ద మోడర్నిటీ యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ మిడివల్ నేచర్, బోత్ ఆర్ సీన్ ఇన్ ద సేమ్ ఇండియన్ సొసైటీ. అర్థమవుతుందా? అవన్నీ మనం చదువుతాం. ఎందుకు పబ్లిక్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ కరప్షన్ చేయాలి చెప్పండి? వై పబ్లిక్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ ఈస్ అబ్యూజింగ్ ద పవర్? వై, వాట్ ఆర్ ద రీజన్స్ అంటే వీ విల్ స్టడీయింగ్ ఇన్ ద కంపారిటివ్ పబ్లిక్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్. Why? Because bureaucracy one of the subsystems in the society. Bureaucracy is one of the subsystems in the society. The bureaucracy consists of the same bias the society is having. The society is having. ISRO chairman చూసారా? ISRO chairman ఏదైనా మిషన్ చేసే పంపించే ముందు, స్పేస్లోకి ఒక మిషన్ పంపించే ముందు ఆ స్పేస్ మోడల్ని తీసుకెళ్ళి వెంకటేశ్వర స్వామి పాదాల దగ్గర పెడతాడు. అంటే ఒకవైపు నువ్వు అడ్వాన్స్డ్ సైన్స్ చూస్తున్నావు, మరొక వైపు ఒక రిలీజియస్ అఫిలియేషన్ చూస్తున్నాం. సో సచ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్ విల్ బి కంపేర్డ్ ఇన్ ద కంపారిటివ్ పబ్లిక్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్. అర్థమవుతుందా? వి విల్ అనలైజ్ ద పబ్లిక్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్, వై ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఎఫెక్టివ్, ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎఫెక్టివ్, వై ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎఫెక్టివ్. ఓకే, సో ద డెవలప్మెంటల్ మోడల్స్ విల్ బి స్టడీ. ఓకే, అండ్ మోర్ ఓవర్ హియర్ డెవలప్మెంటల్ డైనమిక్స్, కాన్సెప్ట్ ఆఫ్ డెవలప్మెంట్. అసలు డెవలప్మెంట్ అంటే ఏంటి చెప్పండి? డెవలప్మెంట్ అంటే ఏంటి? ద సోషియో ఎకనామిక్ అండ్ పొలిటికల్ అప్లిఫ్ట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ ది సొసైటీ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ as development. According to Amartya Sen, when a person is given with more number of choices is called as development. ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఇక్కడ బంజారా హిల్స్లో ఉన్నారు. ఓకే, బంజారా హిల్స్ అనేది ఎస్, మీకు ఏ ఫుడ్ కావాలో చెప్పండి, వెజిటేరియనా నాన్ వెజిటేరియనా? యూ కెన్ చూస్ యువర్ ఓన్ ఆప్షన్. దానిలో కూడా నీకేం కర్రీ కావాలి, ఆ కర్రీ నార్త్ ఇండియన్ ఫ్లేవర్ ఉండాలనా, సదర్న్ ఇండియన్ ఫ్లేవర్ ఉండాలనా, లేకపోతే లోకల్ ఫ్లేవర్ ఉండాలి? అంటే నీకు ఎన్ని ఆప్షన్స్ అంటే అన్ని ఆప్షన్స్ ఇక్కడ దొరుకుతున్నాయి. దాన్ని ఏమంటాం? డెవలప్మెంట్ అంటాం. అర్థమవుతుందా? అకార్డింగ్ టు అమర్త్య సేన్. ఆర్ యూ ఏబుల్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్? బట్ దెర్ ఈస్ అ క్వశ్చన్, వెదర్ వీ ఫాలో ఇండిజినస్ మోడల్స్ ఆఫ్ డెవలప్మెంట్ ఆర్ ఎక్సోజినస్ మోడల్స్ ఆఫ్ డెవలప్మెంట్. మనం వరల్డ్ బ్యాంక్ చెప్పినట్టు ఇందామా, లేదంటే మనం అంటూ కొన్ని ఓన్ మోడల్స్ డెవలప్ చేసుకుందామా? ఆర్ యూ ఏబుల్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్? ద కాన్ఫ్లిక్ట్ బిట్వీన్ దీస్ టూ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ మోడల్స్ విల్ బి స్టడీడ్ ఇన్ ద డెవలప్మెంటల్ డైనమిక్స్. అర్థమవుతుందా? మీరు సపోజ్ ఒక బ్యూరోక్రాట్ అనుకోండి, యువర్ ఎన్ ఎంఆర్ఓ ఆర్ ఎంపీడీఓ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. సంబడి డు నాట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ రేషన్ కార్డ్, బట్ హీ ఈజ్ ఎ పూర్ పర్సన్. మీరు చూస్తేనే అర్థమవుతుంది, ఆయన దగ్గర ఏ డాక్యుమెంట్స్ లేవు టు ప్రూవ్ దట్ హీ ఈజ్ ఎ పూర్ పర్సన్. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? ఇన్ దిస్ కంటెక్స్ట్ విల్ యూ బీ ఏబుల్ టు ప్రొవైడ్ ద రేషన్ కార్డ్ టు హిమ్? He is not fulfilling any requirement, the rule says. Will you be able to help the person? అర్థమవుతుందని చెప్పింది? ఆన్సర్ నో. ఎందుకు నో? బికాస్ బ్యూరోక్రాట్ హ్యాస్ టు ఇంప్లిమెంట్ ద రూల్స్. అంటే రూల్స్ ఆర్ యాక్టింగ్ యాజ్ హర్డిల్స్ ఆర్ నాట్? ఎస్, హర్డిల్స్. అందుకనే డెవలప్మెంట్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ ఏమంటుంది తెలుసా? అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ బట్ మస్ట్ నాట్ బికమ్ రూల్ ఓరియంటెడ్, రాదర్ ఇట్ షుడ్ బికమ్ గోల్ ఓరియంటెడ్. వాట్ ఈస్ దట్? గోల్ ఓరియంటెడ్. Administration should entertain values in the public life, but it is not completely driven by, it should not be completely driven by rules and regulations. We need to become action oriented and what is else? Goal oriented. So that's why we need to ensure better community participation in the process of development. In this context, we will be studying what is the relationship between bureaucracy and development. How bureaucracy should act as a catalyst in the process of development. We will be studying that. మీకు అర్థమవుతుందా? We have created an agency called DRDA. తెలుసా మీకు? District Rural Development Agency. Okay, DRDA. Under DRDA, this is a specialized structure to implement the welfare schemes in the given district. All the welfare schemes come under the DRDA. ఈ DRDA ఎవరు ఉంటారు తెలుసా? District Collector as a chairperson and political leaders as well as NGOs and other civil society members. In the pure government organization, would you find politicians? No. You won't find MLAs and MPs as a part of the bureaucracy. But you create a specialized agency in order to ensure the implementation of the, what is that? Welfare schemes. And are you being driven by rules and regulations or goals? Goals. Are you able to understand? So likewise, we will be studying what are the approaches for the better community development. Okay, that will be studied in this chapter. Not only that, you will be studying anti-development thesis. Anti-development thesis means There are various theories which propose we need not follow the strict models of development proposed by World Bank, IMF, World Bank and IMF. Let us invent our own models of development. Let us define development in the community centric process. So we will be studying in this process impact of LPG in administration in developed countries, women in development and self-help group movement we will be studying. That's why these are the options. How to ensure development means development of women and women in development. Did you understand? Development of women and women in development. So such kind of approaches we will be studying here. Okay. Right. Next, personal administration. How the human resource is deployed in the administration. What is training, what is career advancement, position and classification, discipline, performance appraisal. Chudandi, if public administration is to become an effective instrument to realize the goals of the constitution, by default it must be having proper, personal administration. They must have a proper leadership, they must have proper code of conduct, they must have proper value system, I think in the 2024 question paper, they have directly asked what is administrative ethics, what is code of conduct. Direct question came in the ethics paper. Did you understand? So this understanding can be directly helpful in writing answers in the ethics paper itself. Okay. And moreover, public policy. What are the models of public policy? How we make the policies? What is the policy conceptualization? How we need to understand the problem? What kind of policy solutions we have? So we will be studying here. Okay. And we will be studying various theories, techniques of administrative improvement. Basically, we need to embrace technology in administration, because technology will make the administration effective and efficient. Yes or no? For example, you take e-governance. Okay, what is e-governance? The technological interface between people and government. I would like to ask you, మీరు ఎప్పుడైనా వీఆర్ఓతో మాట్లాడారా? ఎప్పుడైనా సమస్యతో ఒకసారి మాట్లాడండి వీఆర్ఓతో. మిమ్మల్ని కనీసం ఒక 3-4 సార్లు కలుస్తాడు. కలిసిన తర్వాత ఊరికే ఉంటాడా? He will indirectly give the hint that he require money. మీకు అర్థమవుతుందా? అంటే మోర్ ద ఇంటర్ఫేస్ మోర్ విల్ బి ద కరప్షన్. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? మరి ఎంతమంది వీఆర్ఓస్ని సస్పెండ్ చేస్తూ, ఎంతమంది వీఆర్ఓస్ని డిస్మిస్ చేస్తూ సర్వీస్ నుంచి? మరి పోనీ ఈ డిస్మిసల్ సస్పెన్షన్ అనేది నిజంగా ఈ సమస్యకి పరిష్కారం అని మీరు అనుకుంటున్నారా? It is not so. Enduku? We need to define the system in such a way that there will be no scope for expecting bribe. The better system is what? What is that? Techniques of administrative improvement. For example, management information system. The top level authority will be able to understand how the policy implementation across various levels. DGP sitting in his own seat and he will be analyzing what is the level of crime. Okay, how many FIRs have been filed, what is the investigation status? That is possible through management information system. Okay, so likewise there are various techniques, program evaluation and review technique and critical path method. There are various techniques, okay, where you can make the administrative processes very much efficient. That is through techniques of administrative improvement. And what else? Next one is financial administration. You can see monetary policy, fiscal policy, public borrowing. Where do you find all these things? Economy. Did you understand? You don't find anything unfamiliar to you. You will feel very much comfortable. This is my understanding. You will see, suppose you attend the class for 2 hours. For 2 hours, your mind will be so dynamic. You will be able to interrelate your personal life with the public administration. Because we will be finding lot of real-time examples, real-time processes, so that you will be able to understand the theories in a proper manner, and you will be able to apply such theories in the issues of the public administration. Ardhamatunda? So you will be developing such kind of application-oriented mind and also action-oriented mind, and also you will be developing the proper logic to understand any given problem. Okay, right. So next, paper 2. Paper 2 contains evolution of administration. So what was the system of administration in the ancient times, medieval times, legacy of the British rule? Okay, whatever we study in the governance portion, the same type of syllabus is there in the public administration paper 2. But we will be having a deeper understanding of every aspect, Basically, why optional paper must be there in the UPSC means the aspirants will be tested with the scholarly mindset, the in-depth thinking, the research-oriented mindset will be tested in the optional paper. You will be making use of logic and a broader understanding and answering the questions. So that kind of dimensions we will be creating in the optional paper. So that's why optional is little bit more deeper compared to general studies. Okay, right. Next, philosophical and constitutional framework. See, tell me, could you find anything different that we are learning from polity and governance? Everything is same, because you see, public sector undertakings, public sector in modern India, forms of public sector undertakings, tell me, are not there in the whether are these there in the general studies paper 3? Yes, public sector undertakings are there. You can see polity, very aspects of polity, philosophical and constitutional framework of government, salient features and value premises, constitutionalism, political culture. These are all part of polity and governance. And you just look at union government and administration, executive, parliament, judiciary structure, functions. Okay, recent trends, intra-governmental relations, center-state relations, okay. So we will be studying all these things. Okay, so you can also see this union government, plans and priorities, economy, plans and priorities దేనిలో ఉంటాయి, ఎకానమీలో ఉంటాయి. అంటే నువ్వు జనరల్ స్టడీస్లో ఏదైతే ఉందో నువ్వు పబ్లిక్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్లో కూడా దాదాపు అవే కాన్సెప్ట్స్ నేర్చుకుంటున్నావు, బట్ ఇన్ అ డిఫరెంట్ థియరిటికల్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్, దట్స్ ఇట్. ఓకే, లైక్ ఇండికేటివ్ ప్లానింగ్ యూ విల్ బి స్టడీయింగ్. So how the planning process have been changed after the liberalization, privatization and globalization. State government, union state administrative and legislative relationships, role of finance commission, governor, chief minister, council of ministers, chief secretary, state secretariat, directorates. చూడండి, జనరల్ స్టడీస్లో ఏదైతే నేర్చుకుంటారో పబ్బాట్లో కూడా దాదాపుగా అవే కాన్సెప్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఆంథ్రో కానీ మీరు ఇంకేదైనా సోషియాలజీ కానీ తీసుకున్నారనుకోండి, మీకు ఏవి కూడా మీకు జనరల్ స్టడీస్లో డైరెక్ట్ రిలవెన్స్ అనేది ఉండదు. Definitely they will claim this also covers GS అని అనిపిస్తుంది, కానీ you can't find the same verbatim in the other optionals. Okay, అలాగే district administration, changing role of district collector. Okay, state local relations, imperatives of development management and law and order administration, district administration, democratic decentralization, panchayat raj institutions, municipal governments. Okay, and what is the changed role of district collector in the present dynamics? ఎందుకంటే ఇదివరకు డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ కలెక్టర్ వాజ్ బోత్ ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ మేజిస్ట్రేట్ అండ్ judicial magistrate, but now district collector just has changed his role. What is the role, present role? Executive magistrate, and that too the developmental functions of district collectors have been separated and given to local bodies, panchayat raj institutions. All these dimensions will be studying. And civil services, constitutional position, structure, recruitment, whatever we studied in the personal administration, the same syllabus is there in the public administration paper 2. We will be integrating all the relevant concepts together and we will be studying. That's why I am saying public administration is having elaborative syllabus or compact syllabus. Compact syllabus. Okay, and financial management. Okay, we have studied financial management right in the paper 1 itself. Okay, and moreover administrative reforms since independence, major concerns, important committees, commissions, reforms in the financial management, human resource development. Okay, rural development, institutions and agencies since independence, decentralization, panchayat raj institutions, 73rd and 74th constitution amendment acts. Okay, the same concepts we will be studying. Law and order administration, how the police public relationships are shaped, community policing, the problems of terrorism, Naxalism, insurgency, ఇదంతా దేనిలో ఉంది, జనరల్ స్టడీస్ పేపర్ 3, ఇంటర్నల్ సెక్యూరిటీ. అర్థమవుతుందా? అండ్ సిమిలర్లీ సిగ్నిఫికెంట్ ఇష్యూస్ ఇన్ ద ఇండియన్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్, రెగ్యులేటరీ కమిషన్స్, నేషనల్ హ్యూమన్ రైట్స్ కమిషన్, ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఇన్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్, కోalition రిజిమ్స్. చెప్పండి, ఇవన్నీ మనం పాలిటీలో చదువుకునే కాన్సెప్ట్సే. కాబట్టి ఇఫ్ యూ అండర్స్టాండ్ ద పేపర్ 1, దట్ ఈస్ ఎనఫ్, బికాస్ పేపర్ 2 ఎనీవే యూ ఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు ఆన్సర్ by applying the paper 1 principles in the paper 2. అర్థమవుతుందా? So this is what the syllabus of the public administration. Okay, and even the sources are very much defined sources we have for the public administration. Paper 1 ki, when you study the paper 1, okay, what are the book list for the paper 1? Okay, what can be the book list for the paper 1, what can be the book list for the paper 2. For paper 1 we have very good books. One is New Horizons of Public Administration by Mohit Bhattacharya. We have another important book, that is what Public Administration by Poli Naidu. Okay, and number 3, Public Administration by Roomki Basu. Okay, so these are the books, first paper. Okay, and you can also go through another important book, Public Administration Thinkers, Prasad and Prasad. These are the important sources for paper 1. Okay, coming to the paper 2. For paper 2 we have Indian Administration by Fadia and Fadia. Another, or this you can take this book also, Rajni Goyal, okay, and Arora, Rajni Goyal and Arora, by Indian Administration by Rajni Goyal and Arora. So this is for paper 2, and you can also study Second Administrative Reforms Commission reports. Okay, but you don't require to be afraid of all these sources of books. It is my responsibility to study all these books, and I will give you fine notes in the classroom itself, so that your notes itself will be examination ready. You don't require to synthesize your ideas that much deeply, because coaching itself, what is the meaning of coaching? What is the purpose of teacher? Should I give the same complexity or should I simplify? Simplify. I will be simplifying the subject in such a way that you will be able to write the answers directly. I think you are going through polity notes, whether my promise is true or false. Yes, you just go through any question that have been covered for the previous syllabus in the UPSC, you will find answer in your notes. Okay, I will give such kind of refinement in the optional paper also. For example, when I talk about local government, I will talk about issues, I will also provide solutions, not according to my own views, according to the views of Second Administrative Reforms Commission. For example, it has compared Indian local bodies with the London Municipal Corporation. How London Municipal Corporation offers better advantages over Indian system. So that is part of comparative public administration. That will also help in the improvement of the Indian administration. We will be finding lot of solutions. For example, Second Administrative Reforms Commission has proposed the establishment of district level government, having Jilla Parishad chairperson as the head of the government, district collector as the secretary. అంటే స్టేట్ లెవెల్లో చీఫ్ సెక్రటరీ అయితే ఎలా అయితే ఉంటాడో, జిల్లా లెవెల్ ఎవరు, డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ కలెక్టర్. స్టేట్ లెవెల్లో సీఎం ఎలా అయితే ఉంటారో, డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ లెవెల్ ఎవరు, జిల్లా పరిషత్ చైర్పర్సన్. ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటంటే local bodies are maintaining their own parallel structure. Revenue administration is also maintaining their own parallel structure, and this revenue administration is dominating panchayat raj system. How to ensure better integration? Ante Second Administrative Reforms Commission has suggested that let us integrate both by establishing district level government, and to which the district collector will act as a secretary. Did you understand? So this is how we need to establish the administrative structures according to the recommendations of Second Administrative Reforms Commission. Likewise, we will be coming up with lot of recommendations, and moreover, in the public administration, current affairs, reports, okay, and other current events are also very important. Whatever you study for general studies, those are also to be required to be studied in the public administration, and we will be understanding how these examples must be used in the examination, how the thinkers must be used in the examination. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు నేను సపోజ్గా వుడ్రో విల్సన్ గురించి మాట్లాడినప్పుడు ఐ వోంట్ లిమిట్ మై సెల్ఫ్ టు ద వుడ్రో విల్సన్ హిమ్సెల్ఫ్. ఐ విల్ టేక్ ద ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఆఫ్ లేటరల్ ఎంట్రీ ఇన్ టు ద సివిల్ సర్వీసెస్. అర్థమవుతుందా? ఐ విల్ టేక్ ద ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఆఫ్ ద ప్రెజెంట్ క్రైసిస్ ఇన్ ద అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్. అవన్నీ కూడా మనం ఆ చాప్టర్లో డిస్కస్ చేస్తాం. అంటే ఏంటి, మనకు ఎథిక్స్లో ఉన్న ఇష్యూస్, జనరల్ స్టడీస్ పేపర్ 2లో ఉన్న ఇష్యూస్, ఎకానమీలో ఉన్న ఇష్యూస్ అన్నీ కూడా దేనిలో కనిపిస్తాయి మీకు, పబ్లిక్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్లో కవర్ అవుతాయి. అర్థమవుతుందా? So this is how we are going to deal with the subject. Okay, any doubts? Please don't say I have no doubts. Ask me any doubts. Okay, మీకు ఏమైనా అర్థమైందా పబ్లిక్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ ఏంటనేది? డిడ్ యూ అండర్స్టాండ్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద పబ్లిక్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్? టెల్ మీ వాట్ ఈస్ పబ్లిక్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్? Learning how the government functions, how management is done, how the public affairs are managed in the country. When you want to manage the public affairs, there are different perspectives, whether structure is important, whether processes are important, okay, whether behavior is important, how to understand the public administration reality. Okay, in support of that, what are the theories we have in the public administration and management? We will be studying and employing these techniques in the administration to make the administration effective and efficient. అంటే మనం టెక్నిక్స్ ఎంప్లాయ్ చేస్తాం. ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ సైమన్, ఎవరు? హెర్బర్ట్ సైమన్ ప్రపోజ్డ్ డెసిషన్ మేకింగ్ థియరీ ఆన్ డెసిషన్ మేకింగ్. ఓకే, అసలు డెసిషన్ మేకింగ్ అంటే ఏంటి? అసలు ఎవరు చేస్తారు డెసిషన్ మేకింగ్? మీ ఒపీనియన్ ప్రకారం హూ మేక్స్ ద డెసిషన్? ఎవరు చేస్తారు డెసిషన్ ఇన్ ఏ గివెన్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్? ఓన్లీ హెడ్డేనా? కాదు, ఎవ్రీ పర్సన్ ఈజ్ ద డెసిషన్ మేకర్. ఎవ్రీ పర్సన్ ఈజ్ ద డెసిషన్ మేకర్. అర్థమవుతుందా? రైట్ ఫ్రమ్ ద వాచ్మెన్ టు CEO ఆఫ్ ది కంపెనీ, ఎవ్రీబడి ఈజ్ ద డెసిషన్ మేకర్. వాచ్మెన్ డెసిషన్ మేకింగ్ చేస్తాడా? చేయడా? చేస్తాడు. హూ మస్ట్ బి పర్మిటెడ్ ఇన్ టు ద ఆర్గనైజేషన్, హూ మస్ట్ నాట్ బి పర్మిటెడ్, ఈజ్ ఇట్ నాట్ ఎ డెసిషన్? ఎస్. అంటే చూడండి, ఆర్గనైజేషన్ ఈజ్ కన్సిడర్డ్ టు బి ద గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ డెసిషన్ మేకర్. దట్ ఈస్ ద థియరీ గివెన్ బై హెర్బర్ట్ సైమన్. అర్థమవుతుందా? మరి ఈ డెసిషన్ ఎలా తీసుకోవాలి? విత్ రీజన్ ఆర్ విత్ ఎమోషన్స్? జనరల్లీ ఎవ్రీబడి థింక్ దట్ రీజన్ ఈజ్ ద మెథడ్ టు టేక్ ద డెసిషన్, బట్ ఇన్ రియాలిటీ వెదర్ రీజన్ అలోన్ విల్ డ్రైవ్ ద డెసిషన్స్, వాట్ విల్ డ్రైవ్? ఎమోషన్స్ అండ్ వాల్యూస్. అందుకనే తను ఏమంటారంటే ఎవ్రీ డెసిషన్ ఇన్వాల్వ్స్ టూ కాంపోనెంట్స్, ఫ్యాక్ట్స్ అండ్ వాల్యూస్. వాట్ ఆర్ దోస్? ఫ్యాక్ట్స్ అండ్ వాల్యూస్. ఫ్యాక్ట్స్ ఆర్ సేమ్ ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ పర్సన్, వాల్యూస్ చేంజ్ ఫ్రమ్ పర్సన్ టు పర్సన్. అందుకని ఏమంటాడంటే నో డెసిషన్ విల్ బి పర్ఫెక్ట్, నో డెసిషన్ విల్ బి పర్ఫెక్ట్. దట్స్ వై హీ టాక్స్ అబౌట్ బౌండెడ్ రేషనాలిటీ థియరీ. వాట్ ఈస్ దట్? బౌండెడ్ రేషనాలిటీ. బౌండెడ్ రేషనాలిటీ అంటే ద రేషనాలిటీ విల్ బి హ్యావింగ్ ఇట్స్ ఓన్ లిమిటేషన్స్. అర్థమవుతుందా? సరే, మీరు రేపు ఎగ్జామ్ రాస్తారు కదా, మీకు అందరికీ నేను మెటీరియల్ ఇస్తాను ఎగ్జామ్ రాయడానికి, కాపీ కొట్టుకోవడానికి. ఓకే, ఒక 300 పేజీల ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇస్తా. అర్థమవుతుందా? నీకు 300 పేజీల ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇస్తా, నీకు ఏం అసలు ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇవ్వను. ఓకేనా? చెప్పండి, నువ్వు చదువుకొని రాలేదు, నువ్వు కూడా చదువుకొని రాలేదు. ఓకే, టెల్ మీ హూ ఈస్ ద బెటర్ రైటర్, హూ కెన్ రైట్ బెటర్ ఆన్సర్స్? చెప్పండి, ఎవరు రాస్తారు బాగా? నో, నన్ ఆఫ్ యూ. ఎందుకంటే యు ఆర్ ఓవర్ సప్లైడ్ విత్ ద ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్, యు ఆర్ అండర్ సప్లైడ్ విత్ ద ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. బోత్ ఓవర్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఈజ్ డేంజర్, అండర్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో డేంజర్. అర్థమవుతుందా? బోత్ విల్ లీడ్ టు పర్ఫెక్ట్ రేషనాలిటీ ఆర్ బౌండెడ్ రేషనాలిటీ. బౌండెడ్ రేషనాలిటీ. అర్థమవుతుందా? మరి రేషనాలిటీ పెంచాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి? సూపర్ కంప్యూటర్, ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో ఇలాంటి టెక్నిక్స్ వాడాలి. మేనేజ్మెంట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ సిస్టమ్. Indoctrination, what is that? Indoctrination, because when you are using wrong values, what I should change? Your values with the right values. Right values ante whatever the values required by organization, I need to inject those values. వర్క్ చేస్తే నాకేం వస్తుంది అనేటువంటి వాల్యూ నీకుంది, లేదు వర్క్ వల్ల నీ ఎఫిషియన్సీ పెరుగుతుంది, నీకు తర్వాత కూడా యూజ్ అవుతుందని చెప్పడం ఏంటి? ఇండాక్ట్రినేషన్. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో ఇలా వీ విల్ బీ అనలైజింగ్ how organization functions and what are the theories, how to use these theories for the organizational improvement. So these will be studied. That's why paper 1 and paper 2 will be studied in the integrated manner. Ardhunda paper 1 వేరు కాదు, paper 2 వేరు కాదు. You study paper 1, understand the methods and techniques, you apply these techniques in the paper 2. So those who are able to integrate paper 1 and paper 2 will be able to fetch very good marks. అర్థమవుతుందా? సరే, మీకు కొన్ని డౌట్స్ కూడా ఉండొచ్చు. సార్ ఎందుకు సార్ ఇంత కొత్త విషయాలు నేర్చుకొని ఎగ్జామ్ రాయడం అవసరం సార్? ఆంథ్రోపాలజీ అండ్ పొలిటికల్ సైన్స్ అండ్ అదర్ ఆప్షనల్స్ ఫెచ్ మీ వెరీ గుడ్ మార్క్స్ కదా అని అనిపించవచ్చు. కానీ వాస్తవం చూడండి, UPSC ఈజ్ వెరీ క్లెవర్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్. It does not give leverage to any given optional. If you try to see this year mains question papers, optional papers, in anthropology paper 2, okay, lot of twists have been given, Literally googlies have been thrown by UPSC. Neither aspirants nor the teachers could answer the questions. That kind of questions have been thrown by UPSC. Compared to that kind of questions, public administration questions are comparatively easy. Why? Because these are appealing through logic and reasoning. మ్యాథమెటిక్స్ ఎట్లా రాస్తారు? మీరు బైహార్ట్ చేసి వెళ్తారా క్లాస్ ఎగ్జామినేషన్కి? క్వశ్చన్స్కి ఆన్సర్స్ బైహార్ట్ చేస్తారా? చేయరు కదా. పబ్లిక్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ కూడా అంతే. ఇన్స్టాంటేనియస్లీ యూ కెన్ రైట్ ఆన్సర్. యూ డోంట్ రిక్వైర్ టు మగప్ ఆల్ ద ఫ్యాక్ట్స్ ఇన్ ద పేపర్. చాలా ఈజీ. మనం వింటుంటే ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఇంటిగ్రేట్ అయిపోతుంది. సో దాట్ ఈజీ ద సబ్జెక్ట్ ఈస్. అర్థమవుతుందా? రైట్. సో దిస్ ఈస్ వాట్ అబౌట్ ఓరియంటేషన్ రిగార్డింగ్ పబ్లిక్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్. Okay, I hope I explained you in a right perspective so that you will be able to decide whether to take the optional or not. అర్థమవుతుందా? ఎందుకంటే ఇందాక చెప్పినట్టు డెసిషన్ మేకింగ్ ఈజ్ వెరీ డిఫికల్ట్ ప్రాసెస్ బికాస్ ఇట్ విల్ బీ డ్రివెన్ త్రూ ఫ్యాక్ట్స్ అండ్ వాల్యూస్. నేనైతే ఫ్యాక్ట్ ఇచ్చా, ఐ హ్యావ్ గివెన్ యూ ఫ్యాక్ట్. ఇట్ ఈస్ అప్ టు యువర్ వాల్యూ సిస్టమ్ whether to choose this subject as your optional or not. Okay, right. So malli nenu indoctrination chese prayatham chesa, but I don't know how is it successful. Okay, right. Thank you.